Welcome to the Point of Difference Rugby League podcast. I'm your host, Dave, and today we've got another dream team. That's right, I've roped in Aaron Whittaker for yet another dream team, and today's topic is a Kiwi All-Stars team. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a mental job going through every player that's ever played for the Kiwis and putting together a top 13 and a bench. Aaron Whittaker, how are you, man? And how did you go putting this together?
Oh, I'm very well, Dave. Very well. Always good. This was a tough one. It was very tough. But yeah, hopefully, again, like a lot of these players, some I watched on TV, some I had the privilege to play alongside.
Awesome.
But just some of them are just incredible human beings and awesome rugby league players, mate.
Awesome, man. I cannot wait to see what you've come up with. I'm absolutely champing at the bit, so I won't leave anyone hanging. Let's get on with it. Let's start off with your fullback, mate. There's that many choices. We're talking we could go old school, we could go recent. Who did you manage to put into your fullback spot?
We could have. Obviously names like Gary Kimball, Daryl Williams, Richie Barnett, even Nicky Wright back in the day, even our own Robin Old Skippy O'Donnell. This is probably going to be a little bit of a curveball for you. I had the privilege of playing alongside this guy, 25 tests for New Zealand.
Okay.
Can kick a football, goal kicker. Hopefully I haven't given it away just yet. Learned a bit from him in regards to goal kicking as well. But just felt this guy was just having him at back, just him barking the orders. He's a very confident human being. And when I was at the Warriors, he was another level and just so professional. And I have gone for none other than a 25 test veteran in Matthew Ridge.
Wow, what a choice. Oh my God, that's an amazing choice. There's so many you could have picked from, but out of that 90s era, he was sensational. And he didn't miss kicking goals either. He saved New Zealand in that 95 World Cup match against Tonga. Mate.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think if you recall, he had to go to his left and kick the goal with his left.
He did, yes, because they were rushing him on his right and he went the other way. Unreal. Saved the game.
He could, Coggy could do that sort of thing too. But yeah, that was crazy. But I just, like Ridgie at the back when I was at the Warriors, just barking orders, very confident. And you knew you were safe. Even in 94, Papua New Guinea, he played with injections in his foot. That's how tough he was. Didn't want to let the boys down. A bit of a curveball there, but because I love Daryl Williams as well, watching him growing up. But I just even watching that doco when Graham Lowe got him to Manly. That was an interesting a watch, and just brilliant player, and hard, but so
I love it. That's a great choice. Love it, man. Okay, let's move on to the wingers. I like to do them both together. So, who's on the left and the right for you in your All-Star Kiwi side?
Okay, I've gone for once again. Just loved watching these guys. Was a little bit gutted I didn't get to play with one of them in 95 when he captained the Warriors. So I've probably given that away a bit. But 36 test veteran in Dane O'Hara and 20 test veteran in none other than Dean Bell. Another awesome league family in the Bells. So just watching these guys growing up, yeah, loved them. So just as a kid, that's those two, Dane O'Hara and Dean Bell. I could have chucked Dean in the centres as well, and probably put someone Joe Ropati on the wing, or just guys like that. It was pretty tough. It was pretty tough, but
mate, Dean Bell won something like 6 or 7 Challenge Cups and maybe 3 premierships and Wigan, like crazy amount of trophies. Did everything, and then to captain the Warriors in their first season, like what an honour, pretty cool. What a great choice, absolutely loving it. So, what was it about Dane O'Hara for you?
I think just his work ethic, and he was fit. He was similar to me in regards to fitness. He loved his fitness, and you have a look at him, today, and he's still fit as a fiddle, and he can probably still play.
Crazy.
You just loved his work ethic, and again, just his work rate out of the red zone. Even though he wasn't a big body like a Joe Ropati or a Manu Vatuvai, he just did his job. And again, that era, you'll probably see from this side that a lot of the players that I've picked are from that era. Just love growing up. Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Okay, let's move on to the centres. I'm very curious to see who you've got here. Like, there's so many superstars. Like, how do you narrow this down? Oh my
god. I'll tell you what. Like, my side has certainly got a lot of experience. That's for sure, because the amount of tests that I've had between them, would hit right up there. That's for sure. But I was able to play with one of them, and against when I was living and playing in the UK. But I could have gone for James Luluwai. I could have gone for Jared McCracken, Richie Blackmore, Clinton Torpy, Nigel Vangana. But I went game that similar era, so I've gone number 3 and just had an amazing sidestep. None other than James Luluwai. I think he had 29 tests. So I sort of had James Luluwai 29 tests and Nigel Vagana 38 tests. Old Nigel, his nickname was Sonic. He was brilliant at the Warriors and also with the Kiwis, and even three try Clinton Torpy. But sort of gone for that era that I loved watching and grew up with. But two
beautiful
two awesome. Yeah. And the other centre, I went for none other, 34 test veteran. And he was pretty much that size, well, as in height. When he was 15, I was lucky enough to be selected for the schoolboy Kiwis at 15, and he was in that side as well. And it's Kevin the Beast Iro.
Had a feeling you were going to say that because he was a unit, like just so big, like as a young kid. Amazing. He was unbelievable, man. He went everywhere too. Manly, Hunter Mariners. Did he come over to the Warriors for a season?
After, I think, or not, he went to Wigan before that and then come to the Warriors, or vice versa.
Yeah. Was it like 97, like Super League, or not? Definitely 98, I think, somewhere around there. It was in that late 90s era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely. He was just a menace for defending teams, and when he decided he wanted to play, look out.
Wait, two tries in the 1998 Anzac Test win. I remember that. That was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, mate. Okay, halves. How the hell do you choose a halfback at a 5'8"? You've got the likes of Gary Freeman, Stacey Jones, you've got Robbie Paul, you've got Olsen, you've got Thomas Luluwai. It's just stacks. Sean Johnson, Shane Cooper. Do I keep going? There's so many players.
Tony King was another name I had in there. Kieran Foran, Benji, obviously. Shane Cooper, like you could throw in Ron O'Regan there, but this guy was my childhood hero. Well, both of them were actually. You got Clayton Friend that I could have chucked in the halves, Shane Varley, Gordon Smith, as you said, Stacey Jones, Sean Johnson. But my 5'8", this particular player, beautiful, beautiful man, 29 tests beside his name. And I had the privilege to, and I was never going to let the occasion go away. We were at a Masters tournament in at Nerang Roosters,
Okay.
and a particular player was actually playing, and so I was there with another side. This particular team that he was playing for, I'll say who it is. I might give it away, but it was for the Mangere East Hawks. And
Okay.
when I was at years, I actually lived just off of Rosella Road in Mangere, and I was actually registered with Mangere East, even though I didn't get to play for them because I was playing for the Warriors. But if my form was bad and I ever got dropped back, then I would have played for Mangere East. So I was registered with them, and so I've gone for 2090s veteran, none other than the big O, Olsen Filipina.
You had to,
Couldn't,
He's just an amazing player. Just a forward in a halfback's body or 5'8's body, steamroller, but so silky, best
yeah.
ball skills. Just and
And
he
you'll
can
be
bowl someone over too.
and you'll be interested when I do the Will 13 that yeah, in my half combination there because we all know that Olsen outplayed the King Wally Lewis.
Yeah.
Number 6 was Olsen Filipina, and it was hard, but he's a good guy. 46 Tests veteran.
Wow. 46.
Stacey Jones, and also obviously the beautiful Sean Johnson. And what a way for him to go out. What 7 or so try assists. And obviously they beat Papua New Guinea in his last match, which I thought was, which is a great way for him to go out. But I've gone for none other than the whiz, Gary Freeman.
You got him, mate. He is one of the greats. Had the privilege of having him on the podcast and meeting him this year in the Gold Coast. Seriously pinching myself. Just he played outstanding in 1992 Dally M. First
Yep.
Kiwi to win the Dally M in the Australian competition for the Roosters after he left. Was it Balmain? Yeah, he went over to the Roosters. Unbelievable.
So it was just amazing to watch as a kid when he did go to Balmain and obviously make the grand final there. Then went over to Roosters and went really well there. Parramatta. I think he had a little stint at Penrith there as well. I think there was the book out, Kiwi, Tiger, Rooster.
Yes, the one.
Lives just down the road here, back at Mudgery Bar there. I've been to a few of his luncheons, and he's still blamed me for taking the because he would have so many consecutive tests, and so he always keeps having me on, and so I said, well,
I bet.
blame the coach, don't blame me. That's the guy that.
Oh, what a great choice. I'm sure that anyone could justify picking any of the names we've mentioned. So, you just got to go with your gut. Gary Freeman is an amazing
Yep.
choice. So, well done. What a great halves combo, Gary and Olsen. Well, wow.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Let's move into the forwards. This could get really heated here. There's so many amazing props and back rows. Where do you start, mate? Let's see. Who have you got locked into your front row?
Well, again, just it was so tough. Could have gone for Kurt Sorensen. Loved Kurt. Jesse Bromwich, Roy Asatasi, Tony Pulatua, Adam Blair, just to name a few. Ali Lautiti, which was sort of later on, but I couldn't. This guy just has that manner about him. 22 tests. I'll never forget it. It's engraved in my brain where him and Greg Dowling went toe to toe on the sideline, and he's someone that you definitely want to have in your side, and that's none other than Kevin Tumberty.
Mate, that's such an epic choice. So tough. just so reliable. And mate, you'd feel pretty safe as a halfback running behind Kevin's Harmony, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, leading the way. Come with me. This is where we're going. Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, I loved watching KT and even his brother Howie. Yeah, could have obviously gone with Mark Broadhurst as well,
yeah.
but he was my Canterbury Kiwi selection. Yeah, so
Beautiful.
KT.
Awesome, man. Okay, who's on the other side of the field racking it up for the Kiwis All Star team? Again, so many to choose from.
This was quite tricky because this guy, I think, started on the wing, moved into centre, and then become a prop. And 55 tests to his credit. Um, yeah, none other than the great Ruben Wiki.
Mate. Oh, there's the standout moment of his career for the Warriors in his final season, steamrolling Soliola in that semi-final, mate, shouting Sparta or something like that. That has gone down in history, and I was at the game, and I will never forget that for the rest of my life. Ruben Wiki is a god. He is amazing.
Yeah, good mate to this day, and always try to catch up when we go back to the old boys, Warriors old boys reunion. And yeah, it was a tough one because I could have picked him in the wings, but then I loved Dane O'Hara and Dean Bell, and then could have put him in the centres, but obviously James Luluai and Kevin Iro. So yeah, but obviously he's not going to let you down up front, and he leads by example, like KT. So yeah, pretty formidable front row, I say.
Yeah, man. Well, he's like a fine wine. He just got better with age, and he slowly worked his way through the forward pack into the front row, and he was just unstoppable when he came to the Warriors as a prop. Unbelievable. Perfect choice.
Yeah,
Okay, mate. Who's between them in the front row at number 9?
this was so hard. You mentioned Henry Paul before. He's a bit of a utility, and I've used him wisely later on. Might have
Okay.
that off, but yeah, good mate City area. I could have chucked him in there. Dwayne Warman.
Yep.
Um, but this guy's just tough as teak. They don't call him bully for nothing.
Oh,
42
yeah.
teams, none other than Isaac Luke.
What a great choice. And he's one of the ones I got to watch, my era as a child and or teenager and my early 20s. Isaac Luke was phenomenal when he came through for the Rabbitohs. They made the
Yeah,
playoffs for the first time in forever in 2007, largely off the back of Isaac Luke. And then cruelly he missed out on that
yeah.
2014 grand final. Unbelievable. But what a player.
I
Seriously.
think I think Russell Crowe ended up getting him a grand final ring anyway. But yeah, that was gut wrenching when found out that he wasn't playing. A bit like a Solomona, where he missed out for the Melbourne Storm. You could
Yeah.
see they definitely just go forward. But yeah, no, I loved Isaac Luke. Very similar to Sidiru, like speed out of dummy half was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, sort of with 42 tests under his belt, couldn't go past Isaac.
That's an amazing choice. Very impressed. Okay, so let's move on to the back row. Man, there's some serious names in our back row. Like you could go anywhere from Mark Graham, Kurt Sorensen. You've got like Ali Lautini was a superstar when he was around. Like, how did you choose your back row?
Yep. Yeah, very tough, that's for sure. Again, as I said previous, I've a lot of experience. So this guy played 45 tests, captained Kiwis, had the privilege to play alongside him in 93 and 94. Yeah, none other than Steve Kearney.
Oh wow, what a choice! I was very lucky to meet him recently when he came to Christchurch, and mate, he's the nicest guy too. Like, what a really nice bloke. Just
Yep.
absolutely enjoyed my time meeting him and the whole Kiwis. But yeah, pretty cool. But mate, watching him in a grand final for Melbourne Storm, he played his heart on his sleeve for the Warriors and played Western Suburbs Magpies back in the day as well. And then, like you say, 40 odd tests for the Kiwis. What a choice.
Yep. Hooks. Yeah, Steve Kearney, definitely. And then I've partnered him up with none other than 29 Test veteran and old Sharko, Mark Graham.
Oh mate, he's the goat. He had to be in there somewhere.
Well, yeah, but what a back row. What a back
Yeah,
row.
pretty good. Devastating.
And I'm actually able to go to Sharko's trade, his movie next Thursday. So I'm looking forward to going to see that. The Figs, former international greats, have got a showing of it, and Mark Graham's going to be there.
Awesome.
Bernie Lowther's organised it. Another former Kiwi.
Yeah.
Gary Freeman's going to be there. I'm assuming, yeah, Sammy Stewart will probably be there, and maybe Kurt
Nice.
Sorensen. But
Awesome.
because he was an amazing player in his day, and I'll never forget when he got the Warriors gig as coach, and in the paper it had Mark Graham standing there, and it just had all the different injuries that he had coming off of his body, and I thought, hey, tough as like. He was one stage time there, he got elbowed and took his mouth guard out, and there was like 5 teeth sitting in his mouth guard, and saying that there was no thought of even going off. You just didn't do that back in the days. And he tried to put the mouth guard back in, and they wouldn't fit, so sort of pushed the 4 together and then put the mouth guard in after clearing all the 5 teeth out, and then that's how tough he was, mate. Back then, a lot of those guys.
Crazy.
So,
Yeah, no, he's far tougher than I. Okay, man. Right, who's your number 13 holding that scrum together? Who is it?
yeah, well, I've actually penciled 2 people here. 32 Test veteran in Hugh McGahn and none other than the babyface assassin and Toots. So I've gone for Hugh McGahn and Toots there. Obviously, I could have gone for Tawara as well, but
Oh, wow.
I think he's in my extended bench. So, yeah, so I've got Hugh McGahn and Brendan Tudor.
Okay, couldn't split the two of them. Just couldn't do it. No.
Nah.
Fair enough, man. I love both of those players, both outstanding. Hugh McGann's one of those guys who was around, with Eastern Suburbs when Kiwis just weren't in the New South Wales Rugby League. There's like a few, like Mark Graham, Kurt Sorensen, Dane Sorensen, Hugh McGann, and maybe Clayton Friend and Olsen. That probably be
Yeah.
it.
I think, Fred Arcoy, I think he was at with Clayton and Charco. And then you had the Kurt and Dane. I think they were at Cronulla then. I know they did play for the Roosters together, but and Hugh McGann at East. And I think Wiz might have just sort of started to come like when he went to the Tigers as well.
Yeah, there's very few, but Hugh McGann was one of those outstanding players who made his way over there, did so well.
Maybe Sammy Stewart at Newcastle.
Yeah,
I
he went
think.
over there in 88. 88. And Wiz was 87. 87? No, he was 88 as well. He was 88 as well. Yeah. Yeah, good times. Great stuff.
Yes.
Okay, man, let's move on to the bench. Now, I'm definitely allowing you to add a few extras here if you have to, because this is your all-stars side and we've got to squeeze them all in. So who do you start with?
Probably this guy for me is the ultimate utility. 25 tests to his name. Had the privilege. He was only in the junior Kiwis when we were touring in '93, and he got called up to the senior Kiwis, and that was Henry Paul.
Oh, he's a champion. Oh, man, he just carved up the field. He was so good. He was in that 98 Anzac Test series as well that Kiwis won.
Obviously, his brother Robbie, like he was brilliant as well. But I just went for Henry there. I know Robbie sort of played a little bit of hooker and in the halves as well, but yeah, I've gone for Henry over Robbie.
Yep. Beautiful,
So,
beautiful. Okay, man, who's next on your list?
well, I've actually, because I had, as I said, I had Hugh McGahn and Toots there. So I probably would have started with Hugh McGahn, and then Toots would have come off the bench for me. So I had Toots down there in my bench as well. So
Okay.
more so Toots for the the bench spot, but obviously after Hugh McGahn had weaved his magic, and Toots would come on and finish them off.
That's not even fair. So, who else? So you must have a couple of props or another back rower hiding out on your bench somewhere.
I do. I did have sort of Ron O'Regan and Shane Cooper in there, but then
Nice.
I sort of had sort of Toots and Henry Paul there more so. But number 16, I went for I just love this guy. Captain our side in the recent Pacific Championship, and I hope he's going to do wonders at the Warriors. And that's none other than JFH and James Fisher Harris. Just love the bloke, you know. You had a man crush on bloody too. He's my man crush, you know. Just love the way and just what he's about, you know, like the mana that he has. And I think Penrith were very lucky to have him. And obviously four premierships later, it just goes to show how good he is.
Mate, it was so cool to meet him recently. Tracy was very excited to meet him, probably more so than me because she's a Panthers fan. So, but she's gutted he's going to the Warriors, so that's quite funny. But his manner is unreal. He's a very humble, quietly spoken guy, but then on the field he just becomes this beast, and you just can't help but love the aura he projects. He's an unbelievable person. So yeah, I can fully see why you've got him in your team. He's unbelievable, mate. It's crazy good.
Brilliant. And then my other bookend of I just love this guy too. And for someone to think Roosters, sure it was 300 games he played, and that's none other than 23 Test veteran and Jared Wawera-Hargraves.
Yes, I think he had a perfect 300, something like that. Yeah. And now he's off to Hull KR.
And that's for a prop to play 300 games. That's amazing. Yeah. That's outstanding. Like I know he got suspended in that on many occasions, but that was the aggression that that him and James Fisher Harris, sort of brings to the table. I think he was sort of targeted too, like the back end of his career, but I just loved his aggression. Like he could have maybe not toned it down a little bit, but just maybe more controlled of his tackle technique and stuff like that. And I think a lot of players these days have got to probably readjust their tackle tech, within the laws of the game. So don't give away your aggression, because that's what's made them who they are. So. But just control it and, better tackle technique and that, would play.
Imagine how many tests he could have played or how many club games he could have played. We didn't get suspended every year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Okay, so who's left on your bench, mate? Have you got an 18th man or anything like that?
Yep, I have got none other than 44 test player, and I couldn't leave this guy out either. And that's our captain Simon Mannering.
Oh, legend. 301 Warriors games, mate, and captain in a grand final. Beautiful. And a World Cup. How good.
So I couldn't leave Simon out. And then that's a pretty formidable back row. And then I've obviously chucked Tawara Nikau in there as well.
Yes.
Before, so 19 tests for Tawara. Yeah, that's an amazing back row when you look at Steve Kearney, Mark Graham, Hugh McGahn, Simon Mannering, Tawara Nikau, and all those players that we sort of left off, Jeremy Smith and Ali Lautiti, Adam Blair, and so it
tough when they can't make the side.
Exactly. And gone for coach. There's only one person for me, and that is Frank Endicott. Yeah,
of course it is.
Just knows how team going. Like Canterbury sides that he had, the Kiwi sides that he had. and all different players. Even when he went to Wigan, his success over at Wigan, he just knows how to get. There's a lot of great coaches out there. Don't get me wrong. Tank Gordon and Bob Bailey and co. But yeah, I couldn't go past. Happy Frank.
Perfect answer, mate. Okay, is there anyone else that you've got included in your sort of managers, strappers, water boys?
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone in regards to managers. I couldn't go past Ray Hefferton. Obviously, he was coach with Frank for the Canterbury Kiwi Dream Team. But he was a great manager with him and Gordon Gibbons. I'm not too sure if you know Gordy Gibbons. He was a great for us too in 94 in Papua New Guinea as well. Love Gordon and Ray, and so they were my managers, and I've chucked myself in there again for strapper come league. Just love to be a part of it, and love to look after the boys, and that's pretty much what I do today. And with the Eagles, and just lost, obviously too old to play, but just my way of helping them out and keeping them right to get on the field, and a little bit of professionalism with their protein shakes after the game, their rehydration at halftime and stuff like that. Yeah. So, that's pretty much my New Zealand 13 Dream Team. So, yeah. And again,
cool.
I could have probably chucked in Jerome Hughes, Joey Manu again, sort of more.
Same for Williams. It'll probably be to my side somewhere.
Yeah, I did look at SBW, but then I thought with him defecting to rugby, I was a bit. And I kind of with Joey Manu, but I get it. Like nowadays, you got to look after yourself with regards to money. Like a lot of the clubs aren't loyal to you as a player, and at the end of the day, you got to make hay while the sun shines. And I take my head off Manu going to Japan rugby. And I can see him coming back, and I can see Suwali coming back to the NRL. But that's one reason why I didn't sort of go SBW. Yeah, great player, great All Black, great guy, but just with his defection to rugby as a leaguey, sort of.
You're out, SBW. Hit the road. All right, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast, put that together. I don't know how you did it. I certainly couldn't. So thanks heaps for the fun. I've absolutely enjoyed it, man. What a legend.
It was tough, Dave, but thanks for the opportunity, mate. Some legends of players there, and thankful that I was able to play with a few of them, and grateful, that I can actually say I'm Kiwi number 648. So very honoured and privileged, mate.
No worries, man. It's great to have you on again. So, as always, I've been your host, Dave. This has been Kiwi 648, Aaron Whittaker. We've done another Dream Team, and we'll see you all next time for Kickoff.
Full time.